Teaching number 139. Blessed are you, part of my people, because you have known how to resist storms and trials with patience and presence of mind. I have seen you pray and watch over the difficult hours, and I have even heard you bless my will, when bitterness had invaded you. I have then rewarded your faith and goodwill, sending you my peace, for having been the boat that defied the storm without capsizing. I also bless those who, forgetting their own sufferings, watch over the peace of the world or visit the sick in their beds. Because of those merits, I will not leave them without reward. During this war in which the world has lived, you have been united in prayer day after day, and in truth I tell you that I have not stopped pouring out wonders among those of your brothers for whom you ask me so much. Do not let your prayer weaken, O my people. I tell you that the vigil has not ended yet, although the peoples are saying that the war has ceased. No, Israel, as long as the peace of the peoples is not founded on love for one another, keep watching and praying, keep winning hearts for this work of peace and brotherhood. You will soon see that this peace that men are talking about was false, that it only constituted a truce in the midst of their inhumane struggle to then continue their work of destruction. Scattered throughout the world are those who have the mission to pray and watch over the peace of humanity. Among them are my people, whom I am teaching with my word. You all have the obligation to build in the heart of humanity, which is your sister, the temple of spirituality, the sanctuary of peace. When that spiritual sanctuary rises to the heights and men find in it direct communication with their Lord, you will be able to say that you have left the seed sown in the world that I entrusted to you at this time. People, strengthen yourselves in my word and have confidence that your conscience will tell you, if what you are doing is in accordance with the teachings of my doctrine. Pray, so that your spirit and mind fight to banish war. Do not weaken, so that its influence will not cloud your reason or your feelings. When one of you prays, he does not realize what his thought achieves in the spiritual, and it is necessary for you to know that when you pray for your brothers, for those peoples who are being destroyed in the war, in those moments your spirit also wages a mental battle against evil, and that your sword, which is peace, reason, justice, and longing for good for them, clashes against the weapons of hatred, revenge and pride. This will be the time when men realize the power of prayer. For prayer to have true strength and light, it is necessary that you elevate it to me with love. I am not talking about sending your thoughts to your fellow men with bad intentions, because I have never given you weapons to use them for petty ends, since when you are blinded by ambition or hatred, you make use of what is most sacred to you and you employ it wounding and even in killing yourselves. I inspire you to the true fight against evil, and I reveal to you which is the most powerful and invincible weapon, so that you may triumph, advising you to first cleanse your heart so that later you rise towards me, fill yourselves with light and strength, to later send your thoughts like flashes of light among peoples without peace and men without hope. Carry my charity, O people. Men and women for whom these last times have been very cruel, homes in which pain has preyed, feel my peace. Where the daily bread has turned into gall, feel the sweetness of my caress. The men of today have to fight a lot to achieve sustenance, and the Father tells you, I increase your strength 3 times, so that you do not lose heart. Ignite in the youth the love towards their peers, inspire them great and noble ideals, because they will be the ones that tomorrow fights to achieve an existence in which justice, love and the sacred freedom of the Spirit shines. Get ready, all of you, because the great battle that the prophecies have been telling you about has not yet come. Keep in mind that the higher the evolution that humanity reaches, the greater the weapons they have to fight with. Do not sleep, beloved people, and be ready to work for my cause. A new war is coming, in it all the powers and forces of man will take part, and it is necessary that the children of this people, who have to live in that test, know how to cross it with their banner of truth, leaving a deep imprint of spirituality. Scientists, theologians, sages, philosophers, all will prepare for that great fight in which lies and evil will be destroyed, good and truth emerging victorious. Great will be the confusion of men before the light comes to them, because among humanity there will be men who had a great faith and will lose it, others will change their beliefs, and some will go from door to door, from religion to religion, in search of the truth for his spirit. It is necessary that the entire path be traveled, so that all evil is expelled from the spirits and disappears from the hearts. You will see men and women emerge along roads, cities and villages proclaiming that they are sent by God, saying that they are prophets or emissaries, and from now on I tell you to be careful, so that you know how to recognize them by their works. Never say that you are prophets, seers or apostles, but in your works always give proof of my grace, of all that I have entrusted to you and of the doctrine that I have deposited in your heart. Then it will no longer be your lips that say if you are prophets or apostles or my disciples, your brothers will say it by the works they see you do. I tell you again to remain in prayer, until you see that peace returns to the peoples and joy to all the homes of the world. In this age the Spirit of your Father presents itself at the voice of your call. Listen now to my word which is sustenance for your spirit. On the day that my word ceases, you will remain helping each other, but later. In imitation of the birds when they grow, you will learn to flap your wings and you will be able to seek sustenance. It will be when through your elevation you know how to reach me to receive inspiration and peace. Stay awake, do not let sleep take over your heart and defeat your spirit, because time passes, and the day will come when you wake up crying for lost time. Then you are going to want to make up for those wasted moments and opportunities, but you will no longer be able to do so, because while some are in old age, others will be found in spirit in the hereafter. You will ask your Father for clemency and mercy, without understanding that you were the ones who did not have mercy or clemency of your own spirit. Have charity for your brothers, which is as much as having charity for yourselves. If you do not fulfill this mission, you will be the first to cry because you will see that your hand, which was full of gifts, will be found empty, that the balm with which you healed the sick has disappeared, and that power to free the possessed has moved away as well. Be humble so that you do not feel that you are losing your gifts. Do not try to appear superior to your brothers. Do what I did with my disciples in the holy cenacle. I come to point out your errors, not to judge you, but so that you mend yourselves and become the obedient people in the fulfillment of my teachings. What I do with you will be for the good of future generations, but do not forget that to teach you I have never hurt you nor have I made blood flow from your heart. Learn to straighten the tree that has grown crooked and to straighten the paths also. My justice is great, but when I speak to you about it, I do not threaten you just to fill your heart with fear. I come to speak to you truthfully because my justice will be in each one of you, and if you don't want to cry tomorrow, make merits from now on. Each one of your works is recorded by me, and the works that are pleasant, I take as the seed that I have to cultivate until it multiplies among humanity. Do not look for me as a judge, because you will have to listen to my voice full of justice and severity. Seek me as Master and as Father. What do you expect for tomorrow? Do you want to go to atone for your faults in the afterlife? Do you want to prepare from now on a path of thistles for your spirit? I am not unaware of your merits, but they are still like the weak wheat along with which tares grow. Practice my doctrine trusting in me, because as long as you keep my word, I will watch over you and yours. Why do I see some as strong and others as weak? It is that the strong have failed to communicate their strength to the weak. United all and all of you will be strong, love each other and have ties of brotherhood, and you will see that the weak bushes become leafy trees. Receive everyone because no one knows the mission that his fellow man brings. No one knows your past, so no one should be rejected by you. The more clumsy or foolish your brothers are, the more charity and mercy you must have with them, taking into account that they are the ones who have fallen, the ones who have not been able to affirm their footing along the way. From hearts hardened as rock, I know how to make hearts that emanate tenderness. You can too. Cleanse your hearts so that your deeds may be clean. Keep in mind that a bad tree can never bear good fruit. For this I have called you at this time, to become trees that offer their shade and shelter to the traveler, and those who have understood this have opened their hearts to tell me, today I know that I am your creature and that I have been sent to fulfill a delicate and noble mission. I know that in you I have my beginning and in you is my end. Yes, I am the way. Everyone who wants to walk it, take up his cross and come after me. I only ask you, so that you can walk this path, that you love your father and your own brothers. That is the law or the way, loving God and loving one another. It is the law that has illuminated the path of men in all times. With the same love I have loved you all, why shouldn't you all love each other equally? The nations await the arrival of the emissaries of peace, the peoples of the earth lament their misery like scattered sheep awaiting the arrival of the shepherd, the one who will gather them in a single fold. Prepare yourselves, because the time is near when you receive these orders from my Spirit, because they will no longer be given by any man on earth. No one will raise his foot without first receiving the divine order. I know the way and I don't want you to lament on it. Before that, I will prepare you for the day you start the journey. Religions and sects deliberate among themselves, prepare and get ready to fight because they sense the battle. You also deliberate, prepare yourselves and pray, so that you are not surprised, because if you do not, my doctrine would be judged and slandered by men, my Spirit would receive all the insults and I would show you wounds in the likeness of Jesus on Calvary. Your spirit is awakening to a higher life, an ideal of a better world is already beginning to form in it. I come to teach you to conquer peace and preserve it as the true treasure of the Spirit. My word will free you from evil in this third era, separating you from the uncertain paths, where you have traveled so much and suffered. My voice will knock at the doors of each heart, and it will be the Spirit that responds from within each being. Some will immediately recognize my call, others, uncertain, will wonder who is calling, and so, one after another they will rise in pursuit of the light. How beautiful is the awakening of a spirit! When man asks himself, who vibrates within me? Where does my inspiration come from and who drives me to good? My word also teaches you to read your spirit, to penetrate it, to find its essence which is light, truth, love, obedience and clarity. When man finds himself spiritually, it is when he feels the presence of his Father within himself, but when he doesn't know who he is or where he comes from, he feels distant, strange, unapproachable, or remains insensitive. Only when awake can the Spirit enter the realm of truth. Man, by his science alone, will not be able to know it. I see that men covet knowledge, glory, strength, wealth and power, and I come to offer them the means to achieve it all, but in its essence, in its spiritual truth, not in the superficial and in the artifice of the world, not in the fleeting nor in the deceitful. When man surrenders to the material, enclosing himself in the small space of a world like yours, he impoverishes, limits and oppresses his spirit. Nothing exists for him anymore, outside of what he possesses or what he knows. Then it becomes necessary for him to lose everything so that he can open his eyes to the truth, and once disillusioned with his error, turn his gaze towards the eternal. Nothing better than my doctrine, which is inspired by divine love for you, to show you the true path. Who better than I could teach you to give to God what is God's and to Caesar what is Caesar's? That is why I have once again made my voice heard in your world, because I have seen you lost in a sea of darkness and confusion. My light of love will illuminate the lamp of faith in hearts that come in darkness, and my charity will raise up those who have died for my kingdom. Whoever does not know how to find the essence of this word, may come to believe that my doctrine is a yoke that holds and enslaves man, but whoever knows how to give it its correct interpretation, will feel his whole being flooded with light and his joy will have no limit. An inner song will emerge from his spirit, leading him to a harmonious life, which will be the best worship of me. Whoever walks within my law, no matter how trying it may be, will not fall. Faith will give him the necessary strength to emerge triumphant. However bitter his cup may be, he will never blaspheme. He will be patient and know how to wait, in accordance with the will of his Lord. Whoever practices my teachings in this way will be making merits so that my prodigies may manifest in him. Faith, conformity and humility before what is arranged by me, will make the journey shorter, because you will not walk the painful path more than once, but if rebelliousness, nonconformity and blasphemy arise in the test will be prolonged, because you will have to travel that path again until you learn the lesson. Life is a constant lesson for the spirits. The universe, being formed under my command, had no other mission than to teach. Life is a melting pot and a struggle for the spirit, it is not an absolute enjoyment as many would like it to be. The enjoyment, the triumph, the peace or the glory, are more, beyond all struggle, beyond that crucible. The glory of the Spirit, with all its joys, is in the perfection of the Spirit. Understand this truth, so that you do not pass by the book that day by day shows you new pages of wisdom. Educate your spirit in such a way that it becomes a good observer. Educate your mind in meditation. Pray with the Spirit's own prayer. Sensitizing the mind and the heart so that you can receive my divine messages and learn the spiritual language of the life that surrounds you, pointing you the way to perfection. To help you, I descend into your weary hearts, to give them new life. When the understanding of these spokesmen rises cleanly towards me, my word reaches the spirits directly. This humble word, which has moved large crowds, will be the one that performs the miracle of making you become mine again, O beloved people, because you had long ago strayed from the path of truth. You had forgotten that you take me with you, and when you came to listen to me, you felt my presence shine again, like that of a bright star that came to illuminate your heart. I come to receive you, but before your human part, I take your spirit that is the true Son of my divinity. In the spirit is the conscience, the intelligence, and it is through it that I will send my inspirations and thoughts to the human being. People, whom I love infinitely, a thought of mine made a word on the lips of these spokesmen, is like a path full of lights for your spirit. Hear me, be humble in the world and sow good in it, so that you may reap its fruits in heaven. If when you do evil you don't like to have witnesses, why do you like to have them when you do good deeds? What can you be proud of, if you have only done your duty? Understand that since you are so small and so human, praise hurts your spirit. Why, after you have done a good deed, do you immediately expect your Father to give you the reward? Whoever thinks like this, does not act selflessly, and therefore, his charity is false and his love is far from being true. Let the world see that you practice good deeds, but not in order to receive homage, but only to give good examples and teachings and bear witness to my truth. Everywhere in the universe are the angels of the Lord, pouring out their charity and love, among all the children of God. In spiritual silence they work ceaselessly to achieve good for their brothers and sisters, and when have you seen them come to earth to ask you for the reward of payment for what they have given you, or at least to show off the favor they granted you? Be humble, because human greatness, its pride and its vanities, belong to the earth, are characteristic of matter, and with them you go down to the grave. The spirit only keeps what it can take to the heights, what can shine in the light. If greatness is not spiritual, if it is only vanity, tomorrow you will have sorrow in your spirit. There is truth and falsehood, and it is necessary that you know both ways, so that in your choice you can follow the true path. Open your eyes, awaken your spirit, sharpen your senses, so that you perceive the love of your Father in everything created. I have given you everything, without asking you for anything from me. If in your misunderstanding you have come to say that I ask a lot of you, in exchange for everything I have given you, you are wrong. If something or much is asked, it is only for your good, for your joy in eternity. You will have to account to your Father for everything you have done in life, but how are you going to silence the voice of conscience in that supreme hour? What will you answer when your spirit hears the voice of the Lord counseling that you can never justify evil? Only the effort to rise from the fall, the love and the zeal with which you march along the path of restitution, will make the traces and stains of sin disappear from your being, so that you can present yourself clean before the divine judge. Learn all this from here. Know that where your interests are, there will be your thoughts and your heart. If these are material, you will be materialized. If they are spiritual, you will be on the path of perfection. Live on earth, as my word has taught you. Live the struggle, love and seek all that is good, delight in all that I have entrusted to you, but let your spirit, like the clouds, float in the infinite spaces full of whiteness and light. It is in vain for men to seek perfect pleasure in materialism. Everything is sad and empty without the presence of the Father. He is true joy. Let all bad thoughts go away from you and attract noble thoughts. Happiness is not in what is materially possessed, but in what is known spiritually. Knowing is possessing and practicing. He who truly knows, is humble in spirit, is not proud of the wisdom of the earth, which only aspires to know everything and denies everything not understood. He who carries within himself the light of inspired knowledge knows how to receive revelations in due time as well as how to wait for them. Many have named themselves sages, and the sun that day after day shines in full light has been a mystery to them. Many have thought they knew everything, and in truth I tell you, that the ant that imperceptibly crosses their path also contains an unfathomable mystery for them. Men will be able to investigate many of the wonders of nature, but as long as they do not follow the path of divine love, they will not reach true wisdom, that which is enclosed in the immortal life of the Spirit. Men, draw near to me. You do not need to break your mind to discover secrets and mysteries, you only need to open your heart with the key of faith. Have the firm will to go to the Father, to be with him, to enter his room, and you will be amazed, and later you will also do wonders, when you live practicing my love and my forgiveness. My peace be with you,